You really sure this is okay? Doma? Yes, the master has granted me full permission. Me and Kokushibo were currently walking around the Infinity Castle. At some point, I saw Kokushibo. We talked, and I mentioned how I felt like I was going insane being kept in one room. That wasn't entirely a lie. I did feel like I was slowly going insane, losing my insanity, being kept in one room with nothing else to entertain myself with. But another reason was if I was able to roam around, maybe I can make sense of this crazy place and find a way to escape. Well, as long as you're sure I don't want to get you in trouble. You care for others much more than yourself. Why? I don't exactly know. It just makes me happy knowing that someone else is okay or happy. Caring for others is probably just an instinct I have, much like my mother. She cared for people more than her own self. Please stay here for a moment. I have to check something. Don't move. I sat down in the hallway as I waited for Kokoshibo to get back. Yin-chan, why are you in the hallway? I heard a voice and turned to look at who said that. Eep. It was Upper Moon for Hintengu. I seemed to have scared him. Apologies, Hintengu. I didn't mean to scare you. I patted the spot next to me. Please sit with me, won't you? He then came and sat next to me. Kokoshibo had to check on something, so he told me to stay here. I see. How have you been feeling lately? I've been better. I miss my friends, and there's almost nothing to do here. I just wish for at least 10 minutes I could walk through the woods again. I always love nature, especially flowers. It reminds me of when my father was alive. He grew the most beautiful garden and had all kinds of pretty flowers. It also doesn't help that Muzan keeps encouraging me to become a demon. Ooh. I don't understand. Why won't you want to be one? There's so many advantages of being one. Sure, you can't walk in the sun, but that's it. This idea to me sounds heartbreaking and sad. I have to eat people who have just as much as a will to live as I do. Living forever doesn't sound that fun either. When you live forever, you don't really see a point of living your life to the fullest. The reason why some humans are so venturous and want to do all kinds of things, it's because they know their life is short. So they want to live it to the fullest. So when they die, they are happy with the life they lived. When you live forever, you don't really care about that cause you live forever, hence you won't die. Also, the thought of seeing one of my friends and possibly having to fight them, I'd probably end up dying because I could just lie down and take it. Because I would not have the heart to fight against my friends. Your mind is set strange and confusing. I wonder what the world looks like in your eyes. I giggled. I'm sure everybody would like to know how each other of us view the world. Do we view it in the same or completely different, but how we see things, how we interpret them, and the way we act nobody is the same, which is one reason I love meeting new people. Everyone is different. It's new and exciting, wouldn't you agree? All of a sudden, Kokoshibo appeared, and Tengu let out an eep, and I got up and dusted off my kimono. Shall we continue? Okay. Bye, Tengu. It was lovely talking to you. For a couple of days, I was getting to know the upper moons. I would normally currently chat with Akaza. When he first met again, he apologized for punching me and popping my shoulders, causing me pain. The first couple of incidents were awkward at first, but I gradually started to enjoy his company. He was briefly, yeah, briefly, yeah, briefly, sorry, the most understanding out of my situation, and he did have sympathy for me. Doma was a very interesting person, but he was also very polite. Even though he was a bit much and maybe a little too touchy for my liking, I should somewhat enjoy his company. He always had a nice smile on his face. Daki and Gitsu were nice too. Daki always dressed me up in new clothing and styled my hair while we often had a girl talk. Gitaru was very polite while he wasn't mean at all. Tengu didn't really visit me as much as the others, but a day after we had talked in the hallway, he visited me for the first time and brought me a bunch of flowers with him. I made us flower crowns, and that was the first time I ever saw his smile. I always get his name wrong, but the one in the pot, I think it's Gyoku. I think that's his name. Gyoku was nice. He one day brought me a vase that I inspired him to make, and it was so beautiful. It was nice to have new decorations in my room. He also spent a couple of hours showing me some of his art pieces. Kokoshibo and me actually got along very well. Even though he is a man of few words, I enjoy the little walks around the Infinity Castle. He would take and always make sure I'm okay, and is the one usually patches me up after Muzan drinks some of my blood. Speaking of, he has given up on convincing me to become a demon. He always tries to charm me and do small loving gestures, for example running his finger through my hair and complimenting me. I'd be a liar if I said the little things he did made me blush sometimes, but I wasn't going to give in. Currently, both Doma and Kokoshibo were in my room. First, Doma had arrived and asked him if I could braid his hair, since he had so much of it. He surprisingly agreed. At some point, Kokoshibo walk around the fortress with me, but saw me braiding Doma's hair. Then I asked him if he wanted to join in, and he just nodded. All done. Thank you so much, Yin-shan. Thank you. You're welcome. You hope you will let me do it again some other time. You're surprisingly so nice to us, Yin-shan. Why is that? Well, you have all treated me lovely and haven't given me any reason for me to not be the same. Just because you're demons doesn't mean I should be mean. But you are being kept here against your will. Muzan is keeping me here against my will. You all are simply following his orders. I'd rather be alone with each other. Rather get along with each other, since we'll probably just be seeing you all the rest of my life. Even in a dark situation, you are still somewhat optimistic. I think that's the word. Well, I like to think in dark situations, there's always a shining light somewhere. Like at night, it could be pitch dark, but there's all those stars in the sky. They're like little glitters of hope